Never before in all our history have these forces been so united against one candidate as they stand today. They are unanimous in their hate for me, and I welcome their hatred.
The needs of working families in the middle class, not just the billionaire class. We know what's going on. We are paying attention.
Oh, good morning, everybody. It is the end of the corporate age, and yet another day where I can't get the intro right. Too busy talking to Markus about all the weird stuff going on, and, yeah. Hey, Dennis. Hey, what? I saw people who hadn't been around in a long time. Who are you? Oh, gosh, now I gotta scroll. W. James. Hey, yeah, I know, you're right. Like, hey, John, good to see you. Yeah, I know. Thank you, I appreciate that. We're still around spreading the progressive message and actually doing a little bit, it's working more on ground game than anything else at this point, and we're going to talk more about that and why. The People's Summit over the weekend was incredible, and that picture is one of the many pictures that was taken at the People's Summit. Phenomenal picture, more than 4,000 people there. And please go to one of the links there. All the links are in the description of the video. Click on that link. It's a Flickr account, and you can see all those pictures. You can download them. You can use them, make memes, do whatever you want. That's an amazing photo there. Thank you to all the people that went to the People's Summit and put together National Nurses United and Our Revolution. And I don't know, there's so many other groups and so many other people that were involved in that, organizations, unions, and people just showed up, right? Sam Ronan was there. Stephen Jaffe was there. It was an amazing thing. I think David Hildebrand was there. Anyway, we should have sound. Don't tell me we don't have sound. I see the bar moving up and down. We got sound now. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Thank you all for being here. We got Dennis and P and Lyle and Nine Tails and Cynic. Hey, Cynic. How you doing? Lynn. Sidekick Nick, Joanne I Am. Hey, Joanne I Am. Wow. Been a while. Kat, W. James, you missed this? That's nice. Thank you. I appreciate that. You missed the errors, the human. We're going to talk a lot about human error today in different ways. Jim, how you doing? Barbara, Brad, Louise, Density, thank you for all the things you send me. You're not on the patron list, but you send me stuff in the mail, and to everybody else that sends me stuff in the mail, gifts, things, shirts, money, whatever it is, thank you. It means so much. It really does. It's the best pay one could ever have, is just to have people that give a shit about you. You know what I mean? So thank you so much. Appreciate that. All right, Melissa H, Real Jingy, Kat, Katie. Hey, Katie. How are you? Mo. So many people. Phil. Ashley. Marning. Ashley. Oh, all right. A lot of things to talk about. But before we get into anything else, we got to bring on the German. He's got some things to say. Good morning, Markus.
Yes, good morning, John. Before I say good morning, America, I've got to get something off my chest, and John forces me into some kind of inspirational mood, and so I think I have to leave some words for us, for him, and yes, and I just want to read it out because I got some notes here, and okay, it says, "Dear Mr. John Ellis, I would like to take the opportunity today to thank you for giving me the beautiful chance to be a part of your Apple Media Inc. Incredible. I would like to thank you for your ordering me to spread your intelligence, wisdom, genius to our voters, viewers. It says viewers. You have awful handwriting, John. Looking at you here right now, I do not think it would be too extreme to state that you are the light of our lives. Inner and outer beauty outshines even Fukushima.
Really?
Yes, your rants are the most tremendous and elaborated masterpieces of human communication.
Please, more.
Your F-bombs are so huge and mighty, there are already efforts by the Geneva Convention to prohibit them.
Huge.
Your hack is so amazing that even Kim Jong-un is going to copy it. I want to close this heartfelt public statement by thanking you again. Thank you, bigly. Servant Markus.
Your loyalty is very appreciated, Markus.
Thank you, I know.
Thank you for that.
I hope so, yes.
Well, yes, bigly. Thank you so much. That's Markus is obviously parroting the very bizarre cabinet meeting that Trump had. I haven't even watched it. I've just seen all the headlines and the commentary as Marcus's commentary. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Now you got to watch it to get it on.
I do. No, I don't. I can hear it in my head. It's enough just to know that they did it. And it's really sad. It's really sad. I mean, think about that. Grown men,
yes,
all grown men, lapdogs sucking at the teat of this particular money funnel for the moment.
They are sucking at the teat of a man with a bad haircut. And the absurd thing is, it is not in North Korea.
I know. Oh, you got great comments. Ashley, I demand loyalty. My magnificence demands loyalty. Nothing I need to do any there. And no, I agree with you on the bad hair. I don't exactly have the best. Maybe there's something to be said for shitty hair. I don't know. But great, Marcus. You guys are awesome. We hear and obey. Thank you. I'm glad that you're all loyal. Hear and obey. I appreciate that. Nine Tails, John's F-bombs are unprecedented. Precedented or presidented? Which one? Literally or literally? This is fun in the downfall of Western civilization when language becomes, questionable. Jonathan Dangle says, my hair is like Frank Zappa. Your hair is like Frank Zappa's hair, or your hair is like Frank Zappa? Because that in itself would be very bizarre. Just curious. Please define. And hey, Cynic, Denise, Jilly Love, how you doing? John Warren, Patricia Hernandez, how are you? And Nine Tails, how are you? Good morning, everybody. I know I missed a few names. I'll try to get Poodle Susan, how are you doing? Eco Sutra, good to see you. We've got some interesting climate news to talk about. How did everybody survive the first real heat wave of the summer? That's we had that here. While we're having, right here we're getting spring currently, and in the Midwest and East they were experiencing 90-degree plus temperatures, almost 100 degrees at the beginning of June, which is not normal, really. And we're gonna talk about that. I got to show you the card because we got a whole bunch of shit to talk about. The first thing we have to talk about is We the People meet David Hildebrand, and we finally got, this is totally my fault. Ashley made a lovely card for We the People, and I provided the wrong information. So it sounded like David was running for California Senate. See, and that's the wrong card. Here, let me load the right card. I have to get this right now, live, while we're sitting here. See, that's the wrong, these titles are tricky, everybody. When you're starting to learn government and roles, that's, all right. This is what he really is. Candidate for U.S. Senate in California, because he would be one of the U.S. senators to represent the state of California in Washington, D.C. This is like the most powerful role that a state can have in terms of representation in the federal government. And right now, this office is being held by establishment fossil Dianne Feinstein, who's made it clear that if she does comprehend health care, it's not going to be single payer. And she's not really sure what regime change means because she wants it to happen and she wants to stop it at the same time. That Dianne Feinstein, who thinks she gets to keep her job because she's got some money. So join us tomorrow for that conversation, and I'm really hoping that the digital left will restream this on Facebooks for us, since I can't do both at the same time. So we'll see. We will see. Oh yeah, David Hildebrand v. Feinstein. I know. That's going to be a lot of money we're going to have to raise for that guy. A lot of freaking money. It's, I mean, he's got to be funded. He's going to have to get endorsements. We're going to have to do everything we can. This, I realized what this show is, right? Or what We the People is for all of these candidates, Marcus. We the People is like the starter point. You come on our show, you can make mistakes, do whatever. It doesn't matter, because it's your practice show before you go on to all the other ones, Tim Black and the Humanist and Jim, Joe, all the bigger. Right? So
you want to say we make the political stars.
We give them their first opportunity to fuck up without really having a big audience to notice.
This would be the negative way to see it. I would prefer the positive way.
All in phrasing, right? We give them their start, or how did you say it? We make politicians? That's a little bit of a difference. And I'm sorry to everybody if I've been blasting you with audio peaks. I just realized it was hitting up there. Hey, Snorky. Mo. John stream. I did stream the summit events all weekend, and you can still look at them now. And there's a lot of people who are asking why it was, why there's parts that are chopped. And somebody was like, the first black person that gets up to talk and his speech has been edited. And I'm like, no. Crappy internet, apologies, Comcast, buffering. That's all it is. And if the speech is choppy and shitty, I know there's original source out there that's not my copy. So I'm sorry that my copy has run. I mean, literally, we grabbed it from them, came through my equipment, went back up to YouTube's, and between those three places, that's what happened. So, sorry. That's, no conspiracies there. But we did broadcast. We had a good time, and there were ton of great comments. So thank you to everybody that dropped by the channel. 218 new subscribers, which almost negates the loss that we had when we started using this channel again. So isn't that great? It's always a positive feeling to watch your subscribers start to drop as you start using a channel again. But now we're back up, almost back up to where we were. So thank you all to new subscribers that come by. And yeah, so it was choppy for everyone, says Melissa H. Franken breaks your heart. Yeah, I had a lot more. That's an interesting story, Al. I'm not sure where he really sits on things. All right, so the top story is Joy. It's my top story just because I like seeing what's happening on the internets with this. This is Marcus. We were talking about before we went live. Marcus and I were talking about how the internet, so, thanks to Donald Trump, really, and his use of Twitter, and now the Ninth Circuit saying we use Trump's tweets as our evidence to support or not support what we're doing. So we're taking them as facts. So they're being taken as the words of the President of the United States. Sean Spicer says we should not only take them as words, but as the truth. That's it. President says the earth is square. It's square. Fuck you all, right? So now the Ninth Circuit has agreed. So we have set precedent has been set legally. Tweets can be official document and the words of the person. And the President of the United States chooses to use Twitter to address. Those are his fireside chats.
But this is nothing new because, to my knowledge, every single sheet of paper which a president writes on wants to throw away. No. There is no way to throw it away. Everything gets archived. Everything. Right.
Everything gets, and that's right. And that's the beautiful point
so
about social media.
So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it is written on a piece of paper or it is typed in a tweet.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What I'm saying though is that before this, mainstream media did not see that as legitimate. Courts did not see it as legitimate. They're like, that's social media.
I know, but it's nonsense because it's a message, and it doesn't matter on what device a message is sent.
Right? No, I agree. I'm just saying now legally that's true. right?
Yes.
So
that's good.
So now we can go back through all of his record and go, well, here's the record. Right? I mean, although we've seen this time and time again, Newt Gingrich is another great example. Says one thing, then says another. I think within a week he was praising somebody, then damning the same person. Mueller. Robert Mueller's a great guy with integrity. Robert Mueller needs to go. He won't judge fairly. Make up your mind, Newt. You're a piece of shit who
Newt
fucked
Gingrich
somebody
is
else while your
somehow-
wife was dying with cancer. How do you still have a job, Newt Gingrich? Huh? How do you still have a job anywhere, fucking douchebag? I mean,
Somehow Newt Gingrich is the left ball of Trump.
that's about all. Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Hey, Dennis. Where are you guys going? It's toilet side chats. It's absolutely Melissa. That's the sad thing about it. That's the other thing Marcus and I were before you. Oh, Joy Reid here. We'll talk about that. But we were just talking the stark difference between Bernie Sanders and pretty much every other politician out there. But
Oh yeah.
this is Joy. Joy basically has an MSM show, and she's a establishment bobblehead for the establishment wing of the Democratic Party, and I'm going to call it that because newspapers have started to call it that. Hello, third-party enthusiasts. Your third party has been found. Bernie Sanders has been trying to clue you in for a while, and we'll talk about that. Joy Reid is doing everything she can to show you the difference. Here's where does she go? I don't know, where is it? Somewhere in here. She starts ranting about Bernie Sanders. Here, right here. This is talking about Bernie Sanders supporters. Not saying they're not welcome to move in. She's talking about the Democratic Party. I'm sure the party would welcome them, but for now, they're that long-term couch friend. Basically, the basement dweller theme that Hillary Clinton was running. Right? Bernie and his followers are like the college friend who stays at your place for weeks, pays zero, eats your food, and trashes your aesthetic. Parties are like apartments. You chip in or you're a visitor. Feel free to bring wine when you drop, but don't tell me how to decorate. I mean, geez, Joy, do you have any fucking idea how many millions of dollars the Bernie Sanders supporter pumped into the campaign, only to find out that all of it was going right back to Hillary fucking Clinton and none of it went to local candidates? Hey, Joy, do you have any idea how lifeless and dead the Democratic Party was until Bernie Sanders supporters came through and revitalized the whole fucking thing? Hey, Joy, are you enjoying that establishment privilege that you wine and dine on with your $15 million fucking salary? You elitist bitch. Hey, Joy, actually, I'm not mad at you at all. I thank you so much because what you're doing is separating us, and I appreciate that. Please continue. And everybody who has been crying for a third party, it's been found. Newspapers are now calling the Democratic Party either by the Clinton wing or the Sanders wing. It's not Bernie Sanders insurgents. It's not the progressives that invaded. It's the Sanders wing, the Hillary wing. And we see clearly where people go. If you're an elitist neoliberal with money, you end up on the Hillary wing of the Democratic Party. If you're a person like me, a progressive, you end up on the Bernie Sanders wing of the party. And what's happening right now is that people are choosing sides. And those sides are gaining strength one way or the other. In truth, the Bernie Sanders side is gaining massive strength because we actually have a fucking platform and a message and a direction. It's called The Issues. The Democratic Party Hillary wing still can't figure out its fucking message other than we don't like Donald Trump. And in that, we are unified. So I'm happy to unify with the left side, with the Hillary Clinton side of the left wing, all right? I'm happy to unify with them hating Donald Trump, but I got way more important issues to deal with. They're the actual issues. And in order to get rid of fucking Donald Trump, I got to address the issues. And one of those issues is rebuilding the party. And we're going to rebuild our wing of it our way and gather our resources. And the great thing about it is because we're a part of the Democratic Party and we are unified around hating Donald Trump, we get to use all the resources in hand of the Democratic fucking Party. I get access to the databases. I get access to all the information, all the resources, even money. This is how it works. So there's an advantage to being where we're at. And we are actually taking over very rapidly the Democratic Party old. And newspapers are calling it out. They're showing it. And we couldn't ask for more help from people like Joy Reid, because they are clearly shining a spotlight on the stark differences. So thank you, Joy. And go fuck yourself. Anyway, that's my rant on Joy.
Yeah, I think yes, I can agree what you said, because I read also some articles which are very critical with the established Democratic Party, and they demand her to move because they see it would not be enough to be only against Trump and to scapegoat with Russia and
Right.
all this silly stuff. I think it is good if it comes to the divide in this part, because it would show clearly now who is on which side, and there wouldn't be no anonymous masses anymore, because everybody has to choose a side, and this could be very helpful. And speaking of this, I'm very curious to see what, for example, an Elizabeth Warren is going to do.
She's going to fade into irrelevancy. She's going to end up on. She's already made her choice.
Yes, I can imagine what her choice would be. But I would like to see how long it takes her to come out of the bushes and to say for what she really stands.
Well, I agree, but she kind of. I mean, she already has. She won't be backing Bernie Sanders in 2020. If he were to run,
but she's still considered by many people to be one of the progressive leaders of the party next to Bernie, and this is absolute crap.
Well, yeah, yeah. Sorry, I was reading a comment from Jim Lockett. I got distracted. Who said Marcus's apartment is all nice and neat. John's garage is a train wreck.
Ah, come on, this is absolutely nonsense.
Actually, Jim, I just cleaned. It's better than it's ever been. It's in really good shape. You just can't tell. And Marcus, your apartment is all clean and sparkly. We can see it from here.
Yeah, because it's not my garage. So what's the problem? I don't understand the comparison.
I don't know. They're just... Michael Stapleton, your alt center? Really? Nice. I want to get rid of the word alt. Please. Here. And before we move on from Joy, I just want to show you ripples are so fun. Another reason I love social media and talking about the legitimacy of social media now, it brings transparency to our government, whether they wanted it or not. That's what's beautiful about social media. But here's John Osalvo, who has a way bigger Twitter following than I do, like 200,000 something or another. I don't know who he is. And he's liking and responding to my tweet, which and says, of course she is a neoliberal shill whose ethics were long ago dumped down the shitter. And see, this goes to help with our message, right? Anybody who really didn't know who Joy Reid was or where she stood, you got a lot of progressives that are now telling them emphatically, well, she's an establishment tool, propaganda bobblehead who has no relevancy anymore because we know she's just full of shit. It's great. Working together on the web to promote our narrative. All right? That's what it is. It's a battle of narratives. Yes, Marcus's apartment is cleaner than the Love Boat. Who's got the Love Boat? What, because of my doll? Oh, I forgot to show you guys. Marcus sent me another gift from Germany. More German anti-Trump propaganda. That's the cover of Der Spiegel. I've got 3 of them now. I'm sure that ICE can come haul me away. Says you're fired.
Damn. Yes, I'm putting you into danger. I didn't know this.
Yeah, you're putting me into danger.
So I'm no secret agent of the alt-right, guys. I swear.
No.
No, this one.
I gotta show you some other fun stuff. You missed all this, Marcus, because I forgot about this stuff, guys. I got to show you some other funny stuff. My ex-wife number 2 lives in Germany. I still don't know exactly where, but it's farther. I used to know, but it's farther. It's far from Marcus. It's somewhere else. Anyway, she asked me the other day how things were going on our farm. She took a picture of where she was. She lives in an apartment somewhere, but she's got this beautiful view. And I didn't show you the whole view because. But I want to show you the conversation. I included Marcus in this, all right? And I just said, hey, Millie and Molly, those are our dogs. Says, we live in the country. Germany really is beautiful. You live on a farm. How's it going? I said, yeah, I'm jealous of your healthcare and much cleaner environment. Marcus Kranz brags about it all the time. I tell him how much Americans love the scorpions. Apparently Germans do not. The farm is amazing, though, and we are lucky to be on such well water and in a state that gives a shit about the environment. Yeah, so I just, I told her what was going on. Let her know a little bit something about the Germans.
Bragging. I'm not bragging.
They brag all the time. Here's the thing. Those statements and the whole scorpions thing, similar in line of fantasy to Trump and his beliefs about coal and other stuff. I just want to go there, right? That's how delusional I sound.
You still get not over the scorpions, right, John?
Always. All right, back to more fun stuff. President Trump had a birthday the other day, and I was lucky enough to get a link to his birthday card where you could submit a message. So I did. How many of you sent a birthday message to Trump? Julie Love says, John background is eclectic chic. Marcus kitchen needs at least one wall painted red. You need a red wall, Marcus. It's a little too sterile. I'll let Marcus talk about sane progressive in a minute. You guys are talking about, she's going for views. That's basically what she is, chasing views, everybody. And tell her I said that. She should actually try being a piece of information instead of chasing views. But anyway, this is what I said. I said, fuck you, asshole. Go choke on a golf ball and fall off a cliff for your birthday. You're a shit stain on the flag, and we will remove you soon enough. The world hates you. I do want to thank you for uniting us all against you. Have some more cake and then go fuck off. That was my message to Trump. And look, this is the picture. And then right after you fill out the form, they're like, can you give us some money? Because we really need money. Look at his face. He's like, I just farted. Oh, shit. No, I sharted. Anyway, can you give me some money? He's such a fucking just gross.
I'm 9 years old now. Give me my birthday money.
It's exactly what that is. Oh, my gosh. I love Amy Goodman. Is anybody what are we talking about Amy Goodman? Melissa H. Oh, no, I know you're talking about Amy. You're talking about H.A. Goodman. That's who you're talking about. Yeah, same. Sorry, I'm all defensive of Amy Goodman because she's been catching some shit too. Anyway, I just want to say this. The cutest thing of all at the People's Summit of everything was the fact that Amy Goodman was wearing a cap. She was dressed like it was February in Chicago, and somebody made that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, maybe she's cold. I totally get it, but it's. I just thought that was cute. She was just so sweet. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, she is amazing.
It was great.
I'm this many, says Melissa H. I'm this many. He's 71. 71. Oh, right, I can't show you that yet. That's the other one. Okay, so we just finished the top story. Tell Joy where to stick it. Glad we got there. 45 is afraid. Oh, no, do we want to hear it? No, First, I just want to run this just because I saw this and yeah.
Por él somos lo que somos. Y nos quitan eso, más de un día para otro. No es justo. Y luego yo me fui a matar, yo estaba dispuesto a dar mi vida por este país y así me repagan. No está bien. No está bien. levanté, yo estaba todavía algo dormido, me levanté y le dije, ¿de qué estás hablando? Y me dijo, ya está la migra fuera de mi casa, te amo. Y me colgó el teléfono. No pude hablar más con él. Fue el último que escuché de él.
Siendo como si fuera un criminal, y mi esposo no es ningún criminal, no es ningún criminal.
Y si no te alcanzo a ver, pues te doy tantas gracias por haberme hecho el hombre que soy yo. Y aquí estamos toda tu familia orando por ti, haciendo todo lo imposible por sacarte de ahí, que regreses con nosotros.
So, a draft dodger, a douchebag draft dodger who lied his way into office and has continued to lie, ordered ICE, the American Gestapo, to arrest this veteran's father, and citizenship was denied. I don't even have a discussion point.
I have.
Yeah?
Even the fact that his son served in the military said that he educated his son in according to the American values, right?
You would think so.
He deserved the citizenship because he proved that he, I want to say, drastically produced someone who goes according the American values, right?
We would think so. There's no reason for that. And, while there's... The reason I'm playing that right now is we've reached a different point here. And it's people like Sane Progressive and others that are busy working for views. And I get that you need to pay your bills. But there's other ways to pay your bills with your content. And looking for sensational stories, focusing on shit that doesn't really matter, creating division where there doesn't need to be any, whining about petty bullshit. While we're doing that, there are soldiers whose parents are being deported because of asshole fuckers running our federal government. We don't have time to whine and bitch about petty shit. We don't have time to complain with each other. I don't have time to complain about the Green Party or the Independent Party or the Democratic Party. We don't have time for those kind of discussions. I don't have time to waste watching somebody rant and bitch to get views. I'm here, and the stories that I present here are designed to inform, and then I spend a lot of my other time working now on the ground game, because that's really the only thing we've got. It's time to move beyond the entertainment of our politics, and that includes independence, independent media, right? Because we're seeing the same thing happen with independent media. We're seeing celebrities rise who don't really do much for the furthering of information and the gaining of ground within our democracy. They're out for views. They're paying their bills, but they're entertainment news. If we're going to fund people, let's fund the people that are actually delivering real news. And if we're going to watch, let's watch the people that actually deliver real news and information and are forwarding democratic goals, not people that are spending their time collecting views, talking about points that are irrelevant or divisive. In the meanwhile, in other nations, they're taking bold stands. They're getting shit done. Trump's visit to Britain is put on hold because he's afraid. Because people there don't like him and they don't want him there. And they're not going to allow him to address Parliament because he's a piece of shit. And they're going to have massive protests. And he basically said, if you can't deliver for me the same bullshit spectacle that I just got out of my cabinet, I'm not going. So, yay.
And there are already plans, a lot of plans for a big program in Germany in July when the G20 meet, and Trump finally found a hotel where he could stay during the meeting, and it was not that easy for him because no one liked him and wanted him in the hotels.
Totally. Oh, sorry, that video was running. I left you on screen there, Marcus. I was reading comments again. Sorry, my friend.
All right. It's okay.
A lot of you are saying that. That Debbie Sane Progressive talks a lot of the truth. I don't know, Marcus. You tried to watch Sane Progressive. What did you get?
Yeah, I don't want to comment any other formats. It is only my personal opinion. I tried to follow her, but I could not. I cannot stand for a long period. Her voice, her aggressiveness, and her kind of historical personality. And she is. If I want someone to scream at me, then I don't go to YouTube, and I look for a confrontation and for a debate. And she's not my thing, but that's all. And all others who enjoy her should enjoy her. And
Right.
But she's nothing for me.
Right, and thank you for saying that. Final statement on not just Sane Progressive, but all of it, is that I have to look at it in different ways. So at the end of the day, it's discussion. It's discussion about political issues, and that's good. So I thank Sane and everybody else who's out there who's getting a lot more views and has a lot bigger reach than we do, right? Because you're still talking about politics. You're talking about the issues that matter. And that's fine, all right? I'm just going to ask you all, especially the ones that have the bigger views, to really focus on bringing us together around the issues, not around pointing out the divisions and the flaws. That's they may exist, and divisions and flaws may be there, but we don't need to focus on them, all right? I guess that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, right? Everybody has their opinion of who to watch and what to watch. I'm just saying, with regard to everybody in independent media, make sure we don't become what we're trying to get rid of. Make sure we don't become the same entertainment circle, patting each other on the back. Okay? Just be careful. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, and John Warren is bringing it to the point. Let's focus on issues, and I think a debate about the pros and cons, about our show, about Debbie's show, leads nowhere. And
right,
John Warren, you're absolutely right. Let's focus on issues.
Right, yeah, exactly. And I think it's hilarious. Hang on, I lost my thing. D-Best. No, John, that's what you tell yourself about why she has more views and subs. Okay. Here's the difference. I want to just go down that road real quick. Here's the difference. At the end of the day, what I'm focused on is working with my Democratic Party. I do interviews with guests, and I try to create a show in a way that allows them to take segments and have them be useful. Right? Sane Progressive's production techniques don't lend to any of that. Right? So that I just want to make that clear. I focus in a different way on media. I'm not after views, and I'm not after subs. I'm after getting candidates elected. And I do a lot of different things, technically, to make that happen. And so I'm not dissing her effort at all. I'm just saying I think there's a lot of energy spent in that effort that is wasted. Let's just put it that way. And that's just my personal view. All right. Yeah, we could get into that for a long time. I'm not even going to go. I'm not even going to go there. Yeah, I'm not even going to go there. Yeah. Moving on. This is just so that everybody knows, although most of you do know, the arts, those are considered free speech, they are protected under the Constitution, or used to be anyway. So if I wanted to create a play where I was chopping off the head of the president in a play, that's totally within my fucking rights, because freedom of speech. But apparently there's a play, Julius Caesar, that is a little bit liking of doing that, and it's got a big uproar. And I just think that's interesting. I'm glad it's getting an uproar. I'm glad it's getting discussion. We've had different corporations back out and join in of the funding and the promotion and the not whatever, and everybody's upset about it. And, MAGA enthusiasts are saying that it's, oh my gosh, how horrible. Couldn't possibly depict the murdering of a president. We didn't do that with Obama or anything. Right? I don't know. It's just kind of silly. Right now in America, this is supposed to be protected. Here's Bernie Sanders trolling Senate Republicans. I don't know if you're aware, but basically they've rewritten their health care bill, but they're not going to show anybody. And I don't know how they're going to pass it, but there is actually a quote from a Republican that says, "We're not that stupid," when asked why they won't show the bill. We're not that stupid. We wouldn't show it to you because we know it's a piece of shit and it's going to cause national uproar. So we're not going to show it to you. We're just going to pass it because we can. That's the amazing thing, right? There's no schedule of hearings, committee markups, and public testimony for their health care bill because they don't need to be, because we've been asleep at the wheel for so long that they've changed the laws to make sure that there doesn't need to be. And the reason I brought this up is, and in my title card I say, I did say it's not that funny anymore, because it's not. I mean, this is humorous, but it's not that funny anymore. When do you just go, fuck, God damn it, I'm pissed, right? You reach that level and you don't want to spend a lot of time arguing and running in circles over granular crap. You just want to get shit done. Right after the show, I have a meeting with the chair of Lynn County Democrats. And after that, I'm going down to the library to find out what the technical aspects are so that I can do a live broadcast of our Dem meeting. Because we are in a beautiful position to take over the Democratic Party. It's in a shambles. That's been made clear. The Democratic Party keeps making that clear. Joy Reid makes that clear. Right? The only thing I can do is focus as much as my time as possible on destroying the establishment Democrats within Oregon. And there are plenty of them. And I'm coming for you. All of you. I don't have a lot of time to waste. I like going fast. We're going to get rid of you all. We're going to implement modern technologies in the Democratic Party, and then we're going to use it to destroy every establishment Democrat in Oregon, and then we're going to move state to state. It's time to stop fucking around and get down to business. This is going to be, I guarantee you that this show will become less and less popular as I focus more and more of my effort on actually getting shit done and less talking about it. And that's okay, because one of the other things that I intend to do is start up other shows hosted by other people so that we can actually accomplish more things, right? This one's for us. That's the other reason that I'm not interested in comparing with other individuals. This show is for whoever comes by. I never was about trying to make this something, anything it wasn't.
It's the therapy, and we remember when you started all this again, and it was because there are some of us who urged you to do this for us, and yeah. And this time, I honestly have to thank you for this.
Well, thanks, Marcus. And listen, thank you all for being here, okay? It's just that there's another level of serious we got to reach, and I see that David Hildebrand is in the audience. Hey, David, looking forward to talking to you tonight at 7. We're doing a tech check to make sure that David is set to go for tomorrow. All right. I mean, I got a lot riding on David Hildebrand. I got a lot riding on Stephen Jaffe, because California strategically is a stronghold of progressiveness, but it's also a stronghold of establishment old money, and we've got to win California, really win California. put people at the top. And it's the place where we have the best opportunity because we've got so many progressive seats now underneath. Oh, thank you very much. Who just
Wow,
donated?
Skanker.
Hey, Skankung. I do know Kyle. And I have the pleasure of mixing Kyle all the time up with the guy who does Humanist Report. It pisses me off because I always do it. I do know Kyle, and I think he's great. So yeah, and Justice Democrats, yeah, he's doing the same thing, working and promoting Justice Democrats to promote corporate. Exactly. Well, I want to talk a little bit about that. And David, for you who's out there listening, thank you very much, Skank Hunt. By the way. Mods, please don't give a message. So how much of that $5 does Uphill Media get? YouTube takes a percentage, but it's not really high. It's actually a relatively small percentage. And then I will get that money when I reach a threshold of a certain amount, and then it will dump into my account at the end of a month. I think the threshold is $50. So that's how that happens with that. And yeah, so thank you very much. I appreciate that a lot, and to all those of you who have donated in the chat. Those, just like I said, look, this is totally off subject, okay? But I am a absolute failure at making money. I always have been, because I don't want to. I just want to do things, good things, like this, right? And so to me, this is the contract. This is the ancient contract of humanity, was exchange for good works in whatever that exchange happens to be. And so thank you. Whether it's $5 or a note or a t-shirt or a like or a share to Facebook or hanging out in chat, or Markus Kranz spending time doing this, and now he's getting up and walking away. He's getting away. He's leaving me. I can see him right there. Anyway, those things, that's how we build connection and family here, and it's so important that we do that globally. Thank you so much, really. David Hildebrand and everybody else, one of the big reasons I'm talking to Nancy after the show today, and what I'm so excited about, is that I hear my county Democratic Party talking about all these things they need to build and put together to support candidates that we want to run for office. Here's the thing. Those things exist. We just need to connect with them and use them. An example would be the digital left, right? They're willing to help candidates with resources, and there's just so many different media things that they need, that a candidate needs, right? From PDFs and memes and banners and other bullshit, and to have a team of video editors, a team of graphic artists, a team of social media people that can work together as creatives, online creatives, to put these things together for a candidate. That's what we need. So the digital left takes care of that, as well as promoting and broadcasting streams that are relevant. And there are other groups popping up that are doing other things, like Justice Democrats finds and supports candidates and runs them out, right? Our Revolution has their chunk. We're seeing this patchwork of resources be connected. Now, what we have to do, though, is we have to bring these web resources to the local Democratic Party, because the local party is unaware, for the most part, of who these resources are, what they can provide. And so you've got a lot of energy being wasted at the local level trying to reinvent wheels that have already been built for them. And that's what I'm learning. That's what I'm finding out, is I want to connect all of these pieces. Right? So when we talk about different things to do for the revolution and where I'm focused, that's where I'm focused right now. My skills prior to being a volunteer activist for the revolution, my business skills were I was a change agent, and I was a connector. I could see how things needed to be connected and bring them together. And that's what I want to do right now. I'm bringing online pieces of resource, connecting them to offline. I'm training offline people on how to use these resources, how to use this technology. This is what we need to do. This is what I can do. So anyway, I just want to, that's David, everybody else, we got to build this map of resources and connect our candidates to them and focus on the candidates and the issues. And put blinders on, ignore everything else until we win elections. Here's first article talking about, that's Marcus. Here's first article talking about Sanders folks. All right. So this is great. New York Times calls Sanders progressives militant and often ruckus. Right. Oh, that's the Army in Rhode Island. That's one article. There was another one this morning that called them the Sanders wing of the Democratic Party. Right. Yes, that's beautiful. Those of you who don't like militant and often ruckus progressives, separate yourselves. Please. Go find your comfort in your establishment. Yeah, I love the word militant. It's interesting.
I see chairs levitating again.
Where's Dan Roll? Where's Dan Roll when we need him? Right.
Yeah.
Issues only. Exactly. Skank Hunt says I'm so militant with my ideas. Exactly. And militant with ideas. Militant with my passion about what I want to do here. Yeah.
Yes, but this was not meant by the New York Times, and
no.
A couple of days before there was another smear coming from the Washington Post, and they did not change. The only thing which unites us is our fight against Trump, but apart from this, nothing has changed. They are still what they have ever been for decades, and don't trust the mainstream media. Forget about them.
Right. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy at this point. The more Trump talks and the more mainstream media tries to do something with that talk, the more Americans are going to see just how full of shit it all is. It's a beautiful thing. It really is. It really is. I'm excited about it. Here's cover a couple other things. Rhode Island. This is from Janine. Senator Janine Calkin, Rhode Island. Apparently, the Army is practicing urban warfare in Providence, Rhode Island, and Newport, Rhode Island. And she lives right near there. I forget where she lives. I think she lives in Newport. And so they had military helicopters and other things. It was little boys playing with their guns. But what they really are preparing for is civil unrest, right? So, and they didn't tell anybody. This is interesting. This is the second article I have seen asking if Jeff Merkley might be thinking about a 2020 run. And I, for one, think that's a great idea. I don't know how much support Jeff would get. I would hope that Jeff would not get any establishment support. But on the other hand, Jeff wouldn't get any establishment support. So this would mean, this would mean would you guys vote for Jeff Merkley? There's the question right there. Would you guys vote for Jeff Merkley if Bernie said, I'm not going to comment? I want to give a shout out. Oh, this is really cool. This is okay. I told you we were going to talk about different, and thank you. I saw the comment who said I was the integrator. Sure. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's kind of, that's what I do. I build with Legos, but I can see different things as Legos, right? This technology was all Legos, just different pieces of technology that worked fine on their own. And I'm like, well, why don't you integrate them so that they'll work better together, right? I see pieces of democracy that need to be brought together because they'll work so much better that way, right? Like in my county, the folks that have been doing democracy for a while, the older folks really understand all the BS that needs to happen within the rigmarole of the politics. And I'm not talking party. I'm talking how you file for things and where forms go and all the little bureaucracy that most younger folks don't give a shit about, right? Younger folks, on the other hand, have all that passion and energy and fire to get out there and do stuff and stay out there. And that's putting those two together. Now you've got something powerful. Right. It's a question of training everybody on the different aspects. Oh my gosh. Hey, Vegematic. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Wow. Thank you so much, everybody. And I see a love for Nina Turner. And I just want to say really quick, if you did not see Nina Turner's her speech on Sunday.
Oh.
It will bring you to tears,
Yeah.
and it is well worth it. And to anybody who was calling the People's Summit an establishment fest, seriously?
Yes.
Here's my answer to that. Bernie was there. Bernie doesn't go anywhere or do anything with anything establishment. If he can, I mean, he did the Unity tour for what, 3 stops, and then that was done, right? I just want to remind everybody that Bernie was there. I trust Bernie. And I want to say hello, WIDELP, Progressive Voices on the Air, 99.1 FM. I'm going to go into radio voice here. This is WIDELP.org. And the reason I mentioned this is really cool, is a gentleman, the program manager of this station, reached out to me in Bernie 2016 TV on email and asked if he could reuse our copy of the speech. All right? And, don't need to ask. First of all, it's political speech, so that. Second of all, we've got a Creative Commons license, but the truth is he's being smart because he doesn't know. I mean, in this world today, you might as well try to cover your ass. So it was really nice that he reached out and asked, and I replied, and I said, of course. So I just want to reach out to these guys. If this is, of course, I had where this was. I want to say this is Wisconsin, but I could be wrong. Madison, yeah, it is Wisconsin. So this is talking Madison, Wisconsin. That's the area here. But I don't know if you guys know the station, but 99.1 FM, there's Progressive Voices on the Air, and apparently they're going to run the Bernie speech there. So, Dennis, he says he wants a dick joke. Is this how this is going to work? I got to provide jokes for donate. All right. Okay. We'll figure that out. Well, what if I said no and just gave you the shaft? But was that good? Not
John,
good enough? Dick joke? No.
Just imagine one show only with dick jokes. This would be 19 minutes. We could do per minute two dick jokes per minute. This would be 180 times $25.
And why would we do this? Why would we do this? For money and view? Just to make money? Just to make money?
Just to make money. Just to make money, yes. And to invest it in the revolution. Internal, you know?
All right. I see a daily dick joke. We've got people asking for that.
We wouldn't tell him that he was financed on dick jokes, of course.
That's okay. Just at a certain point, the entertainment to keep the revolution going needs to. I mean, there's got to be a balance here, but I understand. We could go that way. Yes, it's a fundraiser for candidates. I'm not sure, but I'm guessing David Hildebrand's campaign person would be questioning the use of dick joke fundraiser in terms of its negativity, maybe when going up against another. It's like, I bet Dianne Feinstein wouldn't do a vag joke fundraiser. The revolution needs humor too. Yes, it does,
yeah,
Brad.
Of course.
It does. D-Best, and why did Bernie quit the Unity Tour? Because he was taking a stand against the establishment, or because he couldn't get the crowd sheeple herding with Perez for the Dems that just fucked us over? No, I'm gonna go with he looked at them and said, "Told you, I got a book tour. I bought my tickets. Bye." Right? Here's what was expected of that. They said, "Hey Bernie, will you go on a Unity tour with us? We know you're an independent, but would you go on this Unity tour with us so we can try to capitalize on some of those burners and get them to spend some money with us and get them all into the revolution? We'll send you around with Tom Perez. He's a great guy. Keith Ellison, the token whatever chair guy on there. We'll send you around with him. How do you think that'll go?" And he said, "I have a few weeks before I have to go to Europe." And they said, "Okay." And so he went on 3, and then he said, "Fuck this." Rob Quist was the divide. Rob Quist was the end of that, right? Because Bernie said, "I want to go support Rob Quist," And Rob Quist said, we'll take you, Bernie, but we don't want anybody else. We don't want the establishment. We don't want the rest of the Democratic Party. Because the Democratic Party wasn't actually supporting Rob Quist. And so Bernie was like, all right. The beautiful thing about Bernie Sanders is he's independent. He's a free agent. He lends his credibility, his celebrity, his passion to wherever he chooses to take it. That's what's beautiful, right? It took him 30 years to get into that position of power. 30 years. Right? It's not like he woke up one day and said, look at me, right? It took him 30 years of double fucking face palms, right? So he earned the right. It's like a rock star, you know? Like you pay $100 for tickets to go see somebody in concert and they just show up on stage, do one solo and walk off. You're like, that worked for me. That's cool. Yeah. That's Bernie Sanders. Right.
Yeah, and he, according his speech on the People's Summit, he gets more and more impatient with the Democrat establishment. I don't think he was ever so clear about what's going wrong there than on Saturday, and we will see where it leads. And
right, and I want to answer D-Best's question. I want to see where I want to answer. So D-Best is saying, John, so follow his lead and go independent. If I follow his lead, that will take me 30 years. I'm going to follow his hint. Bernie's given us a giant hint. Do you not get that? Here, look back and figure out what happened, everybody. What, Marcus? What do you want to say? What?
Yeah, he gave the hint as well as his speech. There were right at the beginning of his speech. There were the crowd shouting "Bernie, Bernie," and he was standing there and he was thundering from the podium. No, it's not Bernie, it's you. And this is the message he said over and over and over. And this is the message. Be engaged. It doesn't matter if for the Democrats or a third party, but be engaged. And that's his message.
All right, that's one of his messages, but that's not what I was talking about.
Yeah, one of his messages, yeah, of course.
But
what's the non-game concerns?
The message that it's you is actually the most important aspect, in the sense that we keep talking about a party that we can't control, but it's just people, and that's us, right? That's the only thing we can't control, is us getting in there and destroying the party. The big hint that Bernie has dropped us. He's the most popular senator in the world. He is an independent controlling the Democratic Party. He's providing the message. He's providing the purpose. And I want to say something that Nina Turner said while she was there. She said, titles are good. Purpose is better. Bernie doesn't need the title. We don't need the title. We just need to take it. Bernie has said, look at what we have done. We came into the Democratic Party establishment. We removed a lot of people. We shook shit up. We brought in money. We brought it back to life. But we said, we're independent agents. We're Bernie Sanders. We're only here as long as he's telling us to work this. The moment he says, all right, guys, I'm going with draft Bernie, or I'm going with progressive this, or I'm going with green. The moment Bernie Sanders says, no, we take our power, our resources, everything we've built, our connection, our fucking passion, and we're going to move it over to Camp B. But what Bernie's telling us right now is Camp A, the Democratic Party, is in fucking pieces. When the Tea Party moved into the Republican Party, it was not in pieces. It was fine. Understand that. They had a harder time of it. We are moving into a completely fucked, disheveled Democratic Party. The only power that exists lies at the top. They don't have a structure. They're faltering. They don't have a platform. They don't have a foundation. They don't have us. That's what they don't have, is us. But if we don't fill those roles in the bottom levels, then we don't have anything to work with. That's what Bernie's saying. Fill the voids while they exist. Take the voids, move the power, and then take the power at the top. Because the Democratic Party is all fucked up. And with Bernie Sanders, you are looking at a fully functional Death Star, right? It doesn't look like it because we're all in pieces, scattered, and we're fighting with each other. But the truth is, We are one fucking badass, all together, fully functional, progressive movement. We just gotta realize it and go in and fucking take it. And that's what Bernie's waiting for. He's like, Jesus, how many times do I have to show you? How angry do I have to get? How many things do I have to point out? Go do the work. And that's what I'm doing. And it's empowering. It's happening. When I have conversations with my local Democratic Party and they talk about how much money, John, do we need to raise to make this happen here? How much money do you think it's going to take to have a media headquarters? How much money do you think we need to raise? I need to go hit unions, John. They're asking me these questions, right? I wouldn't even know where to start with any of that shit. So I bring my resources and my talents, and then the people that know how to go to the people that are the union. Like I was talking to a guy who his name is Jim, and he helped get Kate Brown elected. He's big within the labor movement and unions. Unions have a lot of collective power. So when I say, well, Jim, if we need to do this, we need to have money for, we need a building, and we need some volunteers, and we need this, that, and that, and I don't know how to get any of that stuff. And he says, I do. But we need to talk about it as a party, and we need to figure out what we need to do, and blah, 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 because this is a democracy. It's not the Jim show or the John show, right? But that's making shit fucking happen. That's what Bernie's talking about. Nina, you won't get everything you work for, but you will work for everything you get. Exactly. She had so many good lines, didn't she, Marcus?
She was so wonderful. She was, if it was not Nina's, I think it was Nina Turner's best speech, and it was, of course, the best speech of the People's Summit, followed by Bernie, who was very, very clear, as I said earlier, about the Democratic Party and the state establishment is right now, and that he gets more and more impatient with them, and that he expects them to move and to move in his direction.
Right.
And we talked about this earlier in the show, that the split is there, and there is nobody can't hide anymore, and we will see now who is opposing Bernie Sanders and who is not, and you are right, and Bernie is right. We have they may sit on the top of the Democratic establishment, but if we cut the roots, they are done, and that's it. We got to be the roots. We got to be growing something new, and if possible, within the Democratic Party or what is left.
What is left of it? The ghost ship. It's the ghost ship. It's no longer the
Yes.
Democratic Party. The flag's down. There's no flag flying this ship. We can hoist the Bernie flag, but we got to occupy the ghost ship. And just to Jilly Love's statement, where does she say? Power does not concede without demands actions. Exactly. And exactly. I mean, Governor Brownback is an example. He was forced by his own Senate, by his own legislature. He vetoed the trickle down, and they said, fuck you. We're done with your shit, man. We're done. There's enough of us aligned against you and your fucking power. Even some of us that are corrupt within the Kansas government. Like, there were less corrupt people within the Kansas government that shut down more corrupt Brownback. I mean, think about that. Because we try to divide, and that's another thing that we need to be clear about, and is that there is not just going to be good and evil. There's going to be grays all over the place. And some of them we're going to work with and use. Others we're going to get fucked by. But that's just war. There are always people that will play both sides, right? There are always people that will take advantage of the situation, right? And that doesn't mean that they don't bring about good and evil. It just means they exist. So we got to remember that it's not, there aren't just going to be superheroes and supervillains. There's going to be humans in between, right? That are going to confuse and just do whatever suits their need. So I'm watching you guys talking about, apparently, what's his name didn't show up. Sessions didn't show up. What's going on here? Not that it matters. That whole thing is just bullshit, please. The Russia thing, anything going on with the investigations, anything going on with that is all distraction. None of it matters. You will not see anybody be impeached. You will not see anybody go to prison or jail. Maybe you'll see some firings. Whatever. This is a waste of time. It's what the MSM wants to focus on while we're not focusing on our ground game. All right. It brings a lot of views, though. You want to talk about the Russians, you can get a lot of views, but it doesn't really fucking matter. Doesn't fucking matter. Doesn't matter if they meddled with our elections or if we meddled with theirs. It doesn't really matter who would have won. Doesn't matter who rigged what or rigged. Doesn't fucking matter. You know what matters? 17 months from now. That's what matters. Set your goal there. 17 months from now. That's what matters. Nothing that has just happened matters. 17 months from now. I want to talk really quick about some other cool. This is. So I talked about that Madison, Wisconsin radio station. This is another guy who actually provided the end song for today. Paul Lyrical sent me an email. This is kind of cool. Is doing a podcast, which is a combination of songs for the revolution and commentary, kind of like what Markus, you and I talked about with Laura Livengood. Only this is just a podcast version, but it's really cool. And there's videos, so that's a link in there. You guys check that out. These are just different networks for progressive movement that are showing up all over the place, right?
Nice.
Yeah, it's really cool. And this is another one. Hello, Eb and Kim, if you're out there in the audience. I don't know that you are or that you come by and watch our morning show, but I thought this was really sweet. I think Froze, you dropped this in the chat. This is the kind of stuff that makes me feel like we are in solidarity and working together. And this is somebody who just put out a quick note to his subscribers. Hey, I'll be watching the People's Summit over here. You can watch it on the nice People's Summit page, or you can watch it with me at the Uphill Media interactive chat. And that's a promo. I mean, that's a promo to 538 subscribers that are probably not subscribers to us. It's a whole new demo. That's cool. I made a comment, said thank you. He joined our chat. I said, and now we're one more level connected with each other, right?
Yes.
That's just fucking cool.
And look at the picture. It says it all.
It does. And you said that right as I switched to this one. Oh my gosh. The timing couldn't have been better.
Oh, yeah, we know they are mooning a lot, yeah.
Are they active in that?
I think they are the world's most active mooners. I don't know about the Australian guys, but I think the British guys are leading.
It's the British that like to show their arse? Is that...
Yes, it's a tradition, and it's a long tradition. When I was the first time in London, it was beginning of the 80s. Yes, I got familiar with this.
Nice. That's freaking hilarious. Snorky ITK says, Eben played one of my rants. He mentions you guys. That's nice. I didn't know you ranted. Either that or I forgot you ranted. Send me a link to a rant. Or was it a chat rant? Tell me what it is. Ashley Terry, I tune in at bad times. just come back to the screen full of ass. Is that what it was? I guarantee you our views are going to go up, though. That's a lot of crack. YouTube's going to shut me down for talking about drugs. You were talking about crack.
Crack kills, John.
They're bums. What, Jilly? What a compliment. Yeah, Jupiter Judy. Jilly loves Sessions on RT. Oh, Sessions was on RT. I see what you're talking about. Or they're talking about him on RT. I get it. Katie says they're famous for it. That's funny. Yes, I just had to share that. Humor is revolutionary. I agree. It was, Dennis. It was a good time. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for being here the whole time, you crazy fucking German. It's ridiculous. Staying up 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. Just how you do that. And then going to work 90 hours and then fasting and I don't even know all that stuff. I'm just glad you're alive. I'm saying. Oh, love those Brits and their arses for 45. Yes, I do too, Barbara. I do too. That's about all he deserves. This is Georgia State Senator under fire for photo with armed anti-government militia. Boys and their small penises and their guns to make up for him. That is a group of citizens. I'm just going to say, looking at a lot of those militia guys. I don't know if you guys can see this from here, but I bet that I could just outrun a lot of them. They look like they spend as much time drinking beer as they do shooting guns. Just going to say.
But are you faster than their bullets?
No, they could just shoot me. I'm just saying. Or maybe, I don't know. But there's a bunch of boys with mommy issues playing guns, and there's a senator with them. They're an anti-government. They call themselves the 3% militia. Okay? Here's Georgia State Senator pictured with the 3% security force. They were there to make sure that the anti-Sharia law parade or whatever the fuck it was went off okay. Because, you know, that's a big issue here. Fucking dumb fucks. What state is that? He's running for governor. Georgia. Somebody please run against him in Georgia who is decent and can. I don't know what we got going on in Georgia out there, but please, God. Jimmy Carter still lives there. He's only 90-something. Can't he run? Please. Just tell him he doesn't need to do anything. Just sit on a couch in the office and tell everybody what to do. It'd be great. On the other side of the world, everybody. Actually, no, just in Texas. But you would think it's another side of the world. This this Republican mayor in Texas is going all out on clean energy. He said, this is a quote, "We've got something in common," Dale Ross told Al Gore last summer. "You invented the internet, and I invented green energy." Now, he's being total joking about it. So it's a Republican who understands clean energy and can actually make jokes about it with Al Gore. That sounds even more bizarre than unicorns and rainbows for Bernie Sanders, doesn't it?
That's strange, yeah.
It is. This guy basically says we've got an endless supply of wind and sun, so he's not one of the he's not one of the people in Texas that believe that when the sun goes down, we're done with energy and that the wind can die, which means it's, you know, I mean, he understands how that works. He understands that there's these inventions called batteries that store the energy. Right? That seems to be a big misconception with renewable energy folks, that we have these inventions that store the energy when we don't have the sun there, right? He says, "I'll take that bet over fossil fuels any day of the week." That out of a Republican mayor in Texas. That's pretty impressive. And so support him if you're in Texas. Please support him. His name is Dale Ross. And there is hope when Texas is looking at renewables. There is hope, everyone. There is hope. Jonathan Dangle, Sharia law. Didn't they just invent that shit for places? Yes, they did. They just made that shit up. Darcy, yes, it was a great weekend for Uphill Media. It was fun. And we got a lot of views because Bernie Sanders. See, there's the difference. All right? Why did Uphill Media get views? Because we had a great time watching Bernie and Nina and so many other great speakers and hearing interviews from Scott Galindez, not because I ranted for 20 minutes about Russia.
Okay. Don't forget Thomas Frank.
Right. Well, yeah, Thomas Frank was great. I mean, the discussion of media in general was great.
Yes.
Everything that they discussed about media was so good. That was actually, that was my pat on the back. Hearing them talk about the independent media push and what needs to happen and how we need to work together. And David Sirota with his, I mean, that was just like, I don't need to know them directly. I mean, I do have connections with several of the, you know, I've made connections over the last couple of years, right? It's not like we chat or anything. I don't know Amy Goodman or any of those fucking people. But it's good to know that we're all connected in this is what solidarity is. When you feel that connection and that camaraderie without needing to state it, you know?
Yeah. But there was one thing which was up to a certain point quite absurd to me. This was the Van Jones performance. I don't know how he deserved to have such a long speaking time. Or
Van Jones?
Yes, or he even closed the Friday, right?
Was he? He was. Yeah, I think he was the closer on
I
Not one of the
quite
days.
didn't get this why he was in there.
I'll give you my opinion on Van Jones, which means nothing. It's my opinion. I think Van Jones is a journalist who has walked that line of entertainment news, fell into that abyss, come out of that abyss, fell into that abyss. I think he wanders that line. I think he's a prodigal journalist. I think he's on the right side of things, and he's trying to straddle that line. He's trying to do what Bernie Sanders did in government, but he's trying to do it in journalism, and I don't know that he's successful with it. I have no problem with what Van Jones said. I had no problem with his speaking. I wasn't just to back up a bit. I'm not analyzing people's fucking speaking time or their. I mean, that's again getting into granularity that is unnecessary. Like the guy that was complaining. I mean, that's really. I
was just wondering because I don't have big memories about him being involved in any pro Bernie support thingy or something like this. I was just wondering why he was there and why he was given such a long speaking time and it was a little bizarre his appearance in the end. I think when he started to do this little singing rap singing or whatever this was, I don't know it was fitting.
So if you've lost
it's only my impression.
I get it. He did do it. It was very impassioned. I think it was. Here's my thing. What it seemed to me was Van Jones was working on his speaking, right? Like Van Jones isn't going to have a career with MSM if he's moving to the progressive side, right? If that's what he's trying to show, if he's trying to align himself with true progressives, he's no longer going to have a career sitting on news. So he's going to move to a career of public speaking. And I think this was Van Jones practicing his public speaking for the progressive movement. Whether he's for real, to me, that's left to be seen. I don't know what walking Van Jones has done. On the other hand, I'm not a black person. So that already right there tells me that Van Jones has had to walk more than I have. Just going to say. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. Agreed. I know exactly what you say. Okay, and I can agree to this. I see it differently because I think he is trying to compromise between the establishment in the media and somehow trying to get a foot in the progressive movement. For me, it's a little bit suspicious.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and great. I agree with you. Take it with suspicion. Take Van Jones' sincerity with skepticism, but don't deny him his right to go there, right? You know what I mean? It's and I'm just gonna say this: can human beings fuck up, be forgiven, and come back? Can they fuck up again, be forgiven, and come back? Yes. You know why? Because we're human, right? I mean, as an alcoholic, I can tell you this. If I hadn't been given the opportunity to return to normal human life and been forgiven, I'd probably be dead.
Okay, I'm playing the devil's advocate now, and I say, okay, let's give Hillary a third try.
No. You got it. So, if Hillary wants to apologize, accept responsibility, which is something you have to do in a 12-step program, right? Make amends, apologize, realize that you're powerless, all those things. Now, I'm not a big AA fan, guys. I'm just quoting some AA stuff. But, you get to a point where you have to apologize, accept your responsibility, and make amends. And sometimes those amends can take years, lifetimes. Hillary's got to go through a lot of that. Amends is like step 8, right? So she's not even... Right. It's who said it? There was a great quote that said, you don't just show up and say, I'm part of the resistance, right? When you haven't done dick shit for it, when we're fighting you and your, that's Hillary Clinton needs to just, but if she showed up and was like, hey, I was a complete bitch, I'm sorry, and I'd like to show you that I can actually work for progressive values without taking billions of dollars, then I'd hold my breath.
Okay, but seriously, we can expect only for 2024.
Really? 2024? Okay. By the way, really quick, Dennis says, talking about Sharia law, whatever it fucking is. No, they didn't invent it. It is real, but it's a perversion of the law. It is fictitious and twisted. I know what I'm talking about because I'm a Muslim. Yes. And I understand that. So to put it in context as a Catholic, there's groups of Christians that are much more enthusiastic about their Christianity and take it to the point of perversion. People like Mike Pence, for instance, right? So yeah, that exists. You can go, there's like other groups that like beat themselves and things that the group that exists that they always talk about, the Domini group or whatever in the you remember I can't remember the Da Vinci Code. There's the group that there's weird groups in religions because religion itself is a weird thing. I'm not gonna go after you for your religiousness right now. I'm just gonna say it's a weird thing, and yeah. So anyway, I get it. That's where the perversion comes from, because whenever you create a division, you leave room for people to take that division and make it all sorts of fucked up. And that's what religion does. But anyway, just wanted to comment on. Thank you for that clarification, Dennis. Extremists in all religions. Jesse. Exactly. Hey, Jesse Ferris, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. I like Catholics that beat themselves. Yeah, like that's exactly, John. Exactly. We were just talking about that. Not that you like them, but yeah. Yes. All right. So moving on to hell, I guess, talking about Christianity, and so this is a great segue into hell. Hell on earth, though, everybody. Wouldn't that be if I was a weatherman? Okay. We're talking about Christianity. Let's just talk about the weather this weekend because it's going to be hell on earth, everybody. Heat waves coming. I don't think that would work.
Don't forget your sun blocker factor 5000.
Oh,
do we have it already? 5000? Maybe yes.
We will need it. We will need it. Here's this. This already happened. All right, this was this weekend. I don't know how many of you are still involved in heat wave. My understanding is that by Thursday this is supposed to be down, if not already. But you know, scary image there. This is what I want to show you.
Like.
That's a massive heat wave. This is the beginning of summer, everybody. Okay. Now, we've watched all those. We're not going to watch all those. What I want to tell you about, though, is what's more dangerous about this. I kept saying it's just going to be hot and hot and hot and hot and hot. I was wrong. Right. We have erratic weather now. We have erratic weather because of the polar vortex. All right? We shouldn't have a polar vortex. Not all the time. What that is that our jet stream, and I had this great picture. I don't know what happened to the damn picture. Oh, it's 12:01. Hey, we're really late.
Already.
I just noticed. That's great. Hang on. Maybe it's this picture. No, where'd the damn picture go? Oh, that's just temperatures. Here we go. Here's the jet stream picture. This is what I was looking for. And we're late, so I'll get out of here as fast as we can. Do you see that, everybody? That's the United States of America. Now, growing up, that didn't used to look like that. Growing up in the United States, the jet stream didn't do this big dip down. It kind of just flowed across, and it had little bumps and curves in it occasionally, and it would do a dip down every once in a while. But that's like our permanent jet stream. That's what happens when you melt the ice cubes at either end of your ball that hold the temperature consistent within the middle of your ball. I mean, it's not even hard to understand. When you melt the ice on either sides of your ball, top and the bottom of the ball, and then the middle of the ball, which is supposed to be consistent temperatures between the middle of the ball and the other ends, this is what you get when you fuck that up. You get a jet stream that causes incredibly erratic weather all the time. And because it pushes this heat down into the ocean, that causes more tropical storms, and it causes heat waves, and it actually, for Oregon, causes us to have weird, more spring-like weather later in the year. I'm sure we're going to get our heat waves too, as the weather cycle does whatever it does. But now it's not really that predictable. It used to be pretty predictable. Whether people are excited about this because their job used to be getting really boring, and now they got all sorts of fun. It's World War III with climate all the time, right? That's humans need ice, a ball of ice. Yeah, I know. It's interesting that habitable planets work themselves out that way, and pretty easy to see how we messed that up. It is. All right, really quick, cool stuff. Tesla's used cars are selling ridiculously fast. They're trickling over to the United States, but over in Europe where they're around, I guess they're just selling crazy. They got used cars that stay on the site for like 48 hours that are $40,000 or less. So they've got used vehicles that are around 40K and another set of used vehicles around 50K. Those are used vehicles. So yeah, still not within the realm of reality for me at all. All right. Maybe we get down to a 5K Tesla and I'm all over it, but 50K, no way. The bottom line is that they're selling, and I keep seeing articles coming out about new EV vehicles this and EV that and this range and that range. The EV market is on. It's 20 years, 30 years too late, but it's on. There's a link to a site called Hemp Helps, and the reason I'm showing you this is because it didn't take long for that to get developed. Those of you who are buying your joints at a store, your pre-rolls, or even people like me and maybe other Germans who roll their own occasionally, that is a that is what you see, the green thing there is a joint tube. Right? Those joint tubes I've got a house full of them. I must have 1,000 fucking plastic tubes. That is made of hemp. That is a hemp plastic, because hemp is oil. Plastics are oil. We can make oil. And then this is biodegradable. Finally, I just thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I'm not going to run the video, but there's a link to this. All right, look, for 2 seconds. I don't play games, Marcus, but if you see this thing, this is the coolest fucking thing ever. It's a game I'm sure you can do an Oculus Rift helmet with, and you've got an exosuit, and that's basically your ship that you upgrade and take care of, and they're flying through this incredible... I mean, if I wanted to escape reality and forget all about Earth dying, I would play this game. I'm just saying.
Looks nice.
Does that look fun? Yeah. We don't have time for games, everybody. That was just a tease. We've got a planet to save. We don't have time to play this either, but it got my dad laughing. This is real fake news. Trump versus Opera. It's worth it. Watch it. You will die laughing. And I don't have time to play this. They're asking me to subscribe. My dad's article. My dad wrote an article. It's deep, and we're late, so I don't even have time to talk about it.
Okay,
so I'm not gonna.
Can you do this tomorrow, maybe?
We will. We will.
Okay.
I just wanted to show you guys it was in there. How fast can I go through this shit? Actually, my dad's article is important, and I wanted to talk about it, but I don't want to talk about it now. So we'll definitely talk about it tomorrow.
Good.
He grew up in the racist South in Virginia. Right? So he's a firsthand perspective as a privileged white guy who had black guys who were friends as to what was going on, right? So we're going to look at that, talk about LeBron James. My dad's very upset over what happened to LeBron James. And I don't know if you're aware of that, but I mean, people spray painted shit on the gate of his mansion, right? And it really shouldn't matter whether it's a mansion or a shack. Although that was a pun, wasn't it? Hey, that was a basketball pun, and I didn't even go there. Did you get it, Marcus? You didn't get it.
I wouldn't clean it up. I would keep standing there to remember all who have a correct thinking to see what a shame it is.
Yeah, agreed. Racism in America has reared its ugly head again. Not that it wasn't gone, it's just not silent, not quiet anymore. The point I wanted to make out of my dad's is a point about where racism comes from, but I'll do that tomorrow because I don't want to get into that big old heated discussion with you guys. Links are always below in the description. If there's a link you don't have, let me know. Send me an email at info@bernie2016.tv. right? If you drop plastic through a plasma field, it returns to oxygen and carbon dioxide. You can actually do that without a plasma field. Plasma field takes a lot of energy to make. You can just do that with a thermal oxidizer like they do in France and break it down to its base components. Thermal oxidizer has been around for years. I used to sell them, and the United States just isn't interested in utilizing them to break organic matter or all matter down into its base components because that would cost money. They'd rather just throw it away in a fucking hole. That's what we do. But over in France, 95% of their garbage is dealt with not in a landfill. There's only 5% of their garbage is put in a landfill, and that's because it's toxic. Everything else is burned cleanly or recycled. Thermal oxidizers. Don't even need the plasma field, although that would be fucking cool. Love to see a plasma field do that. Anyway, I am excited about the fusion reactor that we have running, that's been running. That's really cool. Pill bugs eat styrofoam. Yeah, and there's worms that are eating the plastics. We've got ways to take care of our existing plastics issues, right? We need to stop making plastics out of material that requires new advances to biodegrade or get rid of. Right? We have material. Hemp, I don't know how we push that. State by state, we got to get hemp back into the thing here. It was too much of now. That's another one for tomorrow. All right. Marcus, do you have any words of wisdom you want to impart with anybody before I talk about the final song?
No, I don't have any words of wisdom right now. I will present them tomorrow. Saying this, have a good Tuesday and see you tomorrow.
All right. Thank you so much, Marcus. Always.
Thank you.
Here. Right.
It's a pleasure.
And for all your gifts, your anti-Trump propaganda from Germany, your anti-Nazi propaganda from Germany. That's really what this is. Think about that, okay? Because if anybody's going to be anti-Nazi, it would be the Germans at this point, right, Marcus? It would,
Thank you. This was exactly the last reason why the USA wouldn't let me wouldn't let me enter.
I know.
This was the last nail in the coffin of Marcus coming to America.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Snork, just to be clear, we have plasma fusion reactors, contain plasma fusion reactions, and they're building that reaction as they go. Yes, that is what it is. Boom. And it's not cold fusion. But we've been able to make small fusion reactors. It is clean fusion because it is not using a radioactive isotope. It is using plasma. I can dig up the science articles about it. It's happening over in the UK right now. I think it's the UK. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's in the UK. I'll find the article. It's running. It's happening. It's real. All right? This is we are ready for the 21st century. As a species in technology, we are ready. As a species community, we are not. The technology is advanced ahead of our communication and community. We got to bring that along as fast as we can. We could all meet in Canada, though. We could. Okay, we're going to end with a song that was brought to me by, that was sent by Polyrical, the link that I talked about. I was just looking at one of the podcasts, who I sent a message, said, this is really cool. Thank you for doing this. This video is, I think this is a British guy. This was published on June 3rd, and it's about the Portland train, the terrorist attack by the racist white supremacist asshole in Portland. And this song moved me. It's just a guy and his guitar singing a song about that. The reason I've been such a, I don't know, maybe not so funny today, been more of a dick about things, is it's really time. It's time we stop playing Revolution and just do it. Right? And it's gonna make that dividing line even more clear. It's gonna separate us more. It's going to separate the people who want to work on the issues and get shit done from the people who want to talk about the differences, talk about other problems, talk about things that are irrelevant. And I'm going to be spending less time talking and more time walking because I've got a lot of work to do in my county, and then I've got a lot of work to do to eradicate corporate money from the state of Oregon because it is rampant here as it is everywhere. The other thing we all have to be very aware of is that we are entering a time in America where no one is safe. No one. Because we have racists, white supremacists, we have groups that have their own interests in mind that are fully armed. They have all the power of a small military group. It's no different than a country like Nicaragua or El Salvador, all the countries we used to talk about in the 80s that everybody was afraid of. Those countries with those groups of militants, we've got senators posing, taking pictures with groups of militants that are heavily armed because they can buy whatever the fuck they want. And to think that those groups aren't going to rise up and use their power as we push our progressive message is to be naive. So we have to be on guard, and we have to realize this isn't play, this isn't an election cycle, this isn't politics. This is American citizens rising up, risking life and death to change their nation before it gets too bad, before it's too late. So, 3 people rose up to defend 2 ladies against a white supremacist, and 2 of them lost their lives. And we all have to be ready to lose our life to change this country and save the planet. We don't have time for infighting. We don't have time for bitching. We're out of time.
It was the usual sort of Friday, late mid-afternoon. Max Light Rail was filling up with people going home, looking forward to your weekend, the closing of the day, all the usual sort of people on a Friday Portland train, all the usual sort of people on a Friday Portland train. Then this random Nazi started to give these teenage girls abuse. 2 kids turned into targets on a Friday afternoon. It was nothing that you asked for. You didn't get to have a say. Choice came out of nowhere, and you didn't walk away. Sometimes the front line runs through Berlin. Sometimes the front line runs through Spain. Who'd have thought you'd find the front line on a Friday Portland train? Who'd have thought you'd find the front line on a Friday Portland train? So it was you put your body between those young girls and the knife. You were the front line. You stood up and gave your life. Don't ask if it was worth it. What else would you do? Sometimes the price of being human you have to pay is you. Sometimes the front line runs through Berlin. Sometimes the front line runs through Spain. Who'd have thought you'd find the front line on a Friday Portland train? Who'd have thought you'd find the front line on a Friday Portland train? You were the front line.